The man never imagined that he had merely awakened the most useless status anomaly skill, which summoned a goddess from another world. Instead of granting him any advantage, the goddess banished him to the most terrifying ruins in the world. However, what the goddess didn't expect was that Jack, with this most useless skill, managed to kill his way through the ruins in search of her to take revenge. Just earlier, no one knew what had happened. They were all on a bus, and in the blink of an eye, they found themselves here. The goddess then began to welcome everyone, stating that because the Demon King was about to revive, they were forced to summon many heroes to come. While talking, the goddess walked up to the crowd. Someone asked what would happen if they didn't want to help. The goddess replied that if that were the case, they would never return to their original world because it required a special magic to go back. There were only two ways to obtain this magic. One was to acquire the Demon King's heart, and the other was to use a special crystal to absorb the energy released by the Demon King upon his death. Hearing this, some people immediately became upset. They didn't want to be involved in such matters. More importantly, they were just ordinary high school students. Why did they have to fight the Demon King? The goddess, hearing this, had one of her subordinates bring over a wolf. Under everyone's watch, the goddess ordered the wolf to devour an unresisting prisoner. Afterward, she easily killed the wolf with magic. This sight frightened everyone, and they were forced to accept that they had indeed been transported to another world. Next, the goddess asked everyone to test their magical powers. Since everyone here had been summoned as heroes, they all had tremendous potential. The brightness of the crystal ball indicated the level of their potential. The previous heroes were all at the B or C rank, but the goddess was amazed by the high potential of this batch of summoned heroes. 3 A rank heroes appeared, and there were even 3 S rank heroes. This was a rare occurrence. Soon, it was Jack's turn to test. The crystal ball emitted a faint purple light. Jack was eager to know his rank, but the goddess ignored him and had the next person continue the test. After Jack left, the last person to test shocked everyone, because the color of the crystal ball was the same as that of the strongest dark ninja from before. The goddess was very pleased with this. She then showed everyone how to open their status windows. Jack's stats were very low, and his title was the weakest E rank hero, but Jack didn't care. He just wanted to be an ordinary person. However, the goddess's next arrangement filled him with despair. She ordered the soldiers to send Jack to the lowest transfer point because he was the lowest ranked hero. In the past, heroes with low levels often became a liability, so the goddess decided to deal with the weakest heroes by sending them into the ruins. If they could return to the surface, they would be granted the right to live. Upon hearing this, Jack still thought there might be a chance. So, he asked if the ruins were dangerous, but the goddess answered that she wasn't sure. However, all the heroes who had been sent in before hadn't made it out alive. At that point, Jack lost all hope. He immediately said that he had an innate skill that could paralyze others, but the goddess dismissed this with disdain, explaining that in this world, status anomaly skills and magic were nearly useless. After all, the chances of successfully paralyzing someone were extremely low, and even the weakest monsters wouldn't necessarily be affected. Even if it worked, the effect would be poor and last for only a short time. The goddess then took the opportunity to criticize Jack, saying that not only was his innate skill useless, but his level was also the lowest. Even if he leveled up, his stats wouldn't increase much. Jack wanted to say something, but his classmates not only didn't sympathize with him but also mocked him. At that moment, Jack's best friend stepped forward. This friend had always been bullied and had been helped by Jack, so Jack thought he was here to comfort him, but to his shock, his friend was also there to mock him. At this point, Jack had completely lost hope. The goddess then used a teleportation circle, but before doing so, she handed Jack an old, worn-out pouch. Every hero summoned to this world received a special item, but since Jack was an E rank hero, the item he received was nothing more than a glowing pouch.